What is poppin', people? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. We got round one of the winner box at Jester Games. I queued into Marcio round one, and yeah, pretty much anything that he showed was going to be a rough one. And it's yeah, it's bugs. We're going to be picking up the Izzy nice and early, sending the medieval away, and we're going to open up the 5th egg. So we're going to be on the Ghazi, and then we're going to put a Violet down. The memory setter. Oh, thanks to Tom. Appreciate it. Blade in the back and a boost. Passing over the exact amount of memory. Going to be picking up the Tento off the search. And then trying to figure out, there's no real way to pass turn, no execute off the list right now. We're not going to be playing anything, so we're actually going to pitch off a Bakemon start of main with the Violet to pitch off a Ghost, and then we're going to just make a Bake in the back, and then we do put down the 3 cost. Just explain to Marcio how it works there. The in boots. So yeah, I mean, both tamers out. Like, that's all we would have been doing. We'd been greeting for it on board, but like, he does have access to bot deck, so we are just going to kind of like try and play around that, which is why we chose to push out. Though we, especially with the training and a boost, it would have been pretty rough. So we're going to go to 3, draw and raise. Going to go to 4 now, which means we can actually make the Metal Phantomon here without passing turn, and then execute. And this will be going in for 12k 2 checks. Gonna gain back 2 when this thing dies. We actually can 1 choke here. So getting our 2 checks is what I would say if we didn't immediately hit a 16k and die. So we're gonna gain back our 2 memory. We're going to float into the metal, and then we're going to use the QP to pitch the Bakemon. We do get the delete as well with the other body, and then we're going to float into the Necro with the Violet. So one of the things that is slightly unfortunate here is that, so it's only evolving by effect. So my goal was to try and shut down the training, but obviously the fact that he has boost as well means he doesn't actually have to. His card's kind of poo, and without the Phantom, so I would actually be able to float into a body, it does mean that realistically probably should have gone for the Necro in this position. So he goes for the boost and then evolves, can suspend us if he wants to, and then gain the 3k, but he's going to suspend himself, now immune to Digimon effects as soon as he turns into a level 6, which spoiler alert, just doesn't need to training. And even actually at this position he just can. If he wanted to, he could just training. Yeah, training, evolve into Tyrant. And then Tyrant play Metal Life. That's all effects, so would attempt, actually no, on play gets to get the suspension. And now we would attempt to de-digivolve, but obviously the Tyrant is immune, so yeah, it's a mandatory trigger as well, so immediately just gets it, and then we're just going to be, he's 10k, so he tries to bot deck me. A little bit trolling, so this could have been even worse, but he, even with him mis-sequencing it, it's still fine. Inboot's going to push us to 4. And we're going to make a Bake in the back. Again, the stack not floating is really unfortunate. We do have collision. He has 1 redirect, and now you can see kind of like how the matchup just becomes impossible. We're just going to play a body. Really, we probably should have played the Violet, because he's going to be able to suspend anything in order to bot deck this Gazimon. So if we're going to play a 3-cost body that's not, like a 3-cost thing that's not going to make it back to us, we might as well. We do have blocker here. We're going to get the Scramble. Scramble plays out the Ghazi, so we do actually get to go 3 wide here, which means that he shouldn't be able to fully take us off board, which means hopefully we can play for a Chimera, but I mean, second Tyrant comes down, so now we have double redirects available. I'm going to play out the Metal Kabuterimon, use the first Tyrant to spin 1, second Tyrant to spin the other, so we keep a Gazimon and not much else. Draw 1, and then we can choose to raise here. It makes no sense to not raise from this position. I mean, it makes no sense to not to do anything in this situation. There's just nothing you can do from this point. Inboot's going to push it to 6. We're going to decline the Violet effect, and we're just going to evolve. Play the Analog Youth, desperately fish for something, take the 1 of. DNA into Chimera, tag all 3 of them with the -2. But again, They're all unaffected by Digimon effects. Scramble, evolve for effectively 3 into Anubis. One of these scrambles is actually supposed to be a Vortex Resonance, but we couldn't find one. The idea for that is like that once you have the Liberator, you'd be able to Vortex Resonance, reveal for the search, and then evolve into Anubis for 0. It's still effectively paying it for 3, but we're going to play the Bakemon here. Going to draw 1 because we didn't get to delete anything, and then nothing got deleted, so no analog youth or anything. Immediately push out, suspend the Anubis. I can just swing at security. Hits another in boots. Swing at security. The Tento is the one that's plus 3k. He's going to swing this for 4. Or thinking about swinging it for 4. Yeah, pondering. He's playing around. He told me he was playing around. I think he was playing around Blast Mode in security. Maybe I'm confusing that with a different round. Yeah, I think he was playing around a Blast Mode or something. But realistically, Blast Mode would have come down sooner if thing, and they're already suspended anyway, so who would care? And then we got 2 bodies sideways, so can just slam the medieval. Oh, I can just evolve the medieval as well. When digivolving, suspend, and then pop the Anubis, and then I'm gonna gain 1, gain 2 from there. Nothing to pop, so we're just gonna whiff on those. And then we're going to play out the Bakemon with the Phanto, and then the all turns play suspend, clear, and then Vortex, and he full clears my board with Piercing, and we're just going to go into a brand new game. Also getting shuffled up, I do want to say a big old thank you to everyone that's been supporting the channel. We're getting there with the fun stuff, but for your general games, it's supported by the Mega Justice Josh, and Ultimate Hero on YouTube at tier 3 on Twitch. Then for Ultimate, it's the Tommy NT, Tommy Tricks on the Sticks, 3 Strike, Vault, Brad, and King of Knights. Then for our champions, Shinikari, Coffee Deus, DHM, Solar Ouroboros, Andy Fing, Squid Eater, Benji Gibber, Thomas Yates, Kenneth Smith, the Marta FGC, Donkey, All Force Magnet, Chava, Kava even, and Kragan Security. And it looks like we're going to be setting up for game 2. Yeah, this one... At first we were hoping that Ghost really only had an unplayable matchup into Virus Imperial. Like, you know, only losing to Bidif, Smile. But, I mean, this... there's no way to play this matchup. Gonna get training and then gets to go for the 1 choke with the Stingmon. So as far as things go, pretty good. Forces us to stay in the back pretty much, as we're gonna have Analog pick up the Chimera, pitch off the other 2 pieces. And we're just gonna stay in the back and drop an Izzy. So now we have the redirects available straight away, even without the Meta Life. We're gonna push up. We're gonna play the Ghost. I think we have to take the Metal Phantom on here, but we're going to take the Candle instead. No Liberators revealed off of it, and there's going to be the Soulmon, and there's going to be Retaliation on the stack that doesn't have the egg, just to try and maximize value. Try and make it so he clears the one that does have the egg, so we just get a bit of recursion there. Gonna go to the Meta Life. Meta Life can protect itself from Digimon effects if it so wishes. 5 security, of course, so Shiva's not going to do anything crazy. But this is a stack that right now prints 2 memory and burns 1 once you go into a 6 over it. And go into a 6 over it we shall. Training evolve for 1 into the Shiva. Suspend, and then Bug Blitz into the non-retaliating stack. I'm going to gain 1, and then he's going to gain 2 and burn 1. And then gets the memory to do a KnTElixar. Does pass us 3, but does pick up the Tyrant for next turn. So if we can clear it, we'd be able to, but it is suspended, so it is immune to Digimon effects. So even if we can make a retail stack here, we would not be able to do much with it. And it being immune to Digimon effects means that we wouldn't be able to shoot it with something like the Necromon. We do have to swing over it, but right now, because there's Yeah, we're going to go into Necro here. So Necro obviously will pop the KnTElixar, and we're thinking of swinging into it, but he says that, but it's all turns he's +3, so I just have to go into security. He's just going to redirect into it. We're going to lose 1, and then we're going to gain 1 hatch, and then we're going to play a guy. So even without Tyrant, you can see that the Shiva having access to DP for the turn and access to the Izzy means that we couldn't even like force a crash or a trade, which is yeah, not ideal. 2-cost Evo into TyrantKabuterimon. He's going to pull up with the goons. Going to get the suspension onto the Phanto. We're going to punch through it. We're going to gain 2. We're going to float into a ghost, burn 1. Only hit 1 Liberators. The others were not ghosts. And then down comes the green memory boost. Can make a second Tyrant. Choosing to take the blade instead. No more suspended bodies, at least, I guess. In the back, spend the meta life, and then, oh yeah, I figure you don't have to be suspended. You just have to have lower DP or whatever. So, yeah, it's not looking good. We're kind of just moving cards around for the sake of it at this point. Evolve Bake. Bake play. We're going to go for the memory setter, which is the wrong choice. We actually should have done the other. We should have done the other one. I'm going to go scramble into Meta Phantomon. Yeah, we realize it after. We actually had a way cuter line. If we go into the other Violet, then you go Metal Phantomon, pop the... Yeah, so... Okay, ignoring the fact that Tyrant is massive and also completely unaffected by Digimon effects, what we would have been able to do is if this was against, you know, maybe a slightly more normal deck, you'd be able to go Phantom, pop the Ghost, Violet sees a Ghost get deleted, suspend it, turn into Necro, attempt to shoot the body, and then execute is actually a much cleaner line than going for the memory setter. We were just kind of playing the memory setter because at this point it doesn't matter, but also, you know, green is so memory efficient, and he has a memory setter down. We're passing over so much memory, so we're just kind of doing what we can. We're gonna get bot decked. I mean, we can scramble, might as well. We're gonna go for the shiny one, and then we can just trying to figure out what it is we actually want to put to the top of the deck. And then yeah, we've got the Necro, so we're just gonna put the Ghost to the top. No, wait, do we even have a 4? Yeah, no, we do have that. So scramble, 1, 2, 3, double hit, gets the Ghost and Liberator, draw for turn, hatch, start of main, pitch 1, draw 1. So yeah, like she does give us the cycle. But yeah, against another different deck, this is why we test. Yeah, definitely would want to be on the other Violet in that situation just to get the more value out of it. And also, once the Tyrant's out, the amount of memory he passes is a little bit safer. I thought that this gave us rush, but it's not. It's that it has rush. So we're gonna attempt to execute and then realize we actually can't because the Ginkaku has rush, not gains rush. So that's to note for me in future turn. The Ginkaku is like a cute tech we were testing today. We'll definitely be testing it forward. Just like the Chimera, it allows you to make use of your non-rush bodies and turn them into like an extra check is the idea. We're going to see the Zafaga Ace come down as well, just to suspend the body, and then we're going to bot deck, and then we are going to swing for game. So it was a little bit of a bullying, just kind of showcase that, yeah, Ghost has a lot of decks that it can struggle into. If you can make a 12k or higher blocker, then GG's, you win the matchup. But you can win the matchup of my heart by pressing the like button and subscribing if you haven't already. Hit a comment. Drop us what you think Ghost needs in its next line of support, what you would do to kind of like patch up the holes in the deck. If today's your birthday, then happy birthday. Be good to yourself. And as always, have yourselves a damn good one.